teaching real life problem solving to autistic children. Now, life skills and problem solving is so important that if this is not there, everything else will come to a standstill because this is the seat of independence. You are going to have to train your child from the very beginning. For that, you have to literally brainwash yourself every single day. Focus on what the child can achieve. The child has lost a notebook. Please don't go searching for the child's notebook. Sit with the kid. Say, did you see under the bed? Anything that any kid can do, my autistic child can also do. And when you operate like this and give them opportunities, your child with autism pretty much will learn. Hello everybody, Rajni here from Sashakt Empowering Lives. So today's topic, teaching real life problem solving to autistic children. Apart from academics, this is an area which is extremely important. Like I like to say, the 5-finger model, where we are doing correcting behaviors to begin with, increasing the language of the child, increasing the social quotient of the child, where the child understands how to make friends with other people, then moving on to life skills and problem solving, and finally academics. Now, life skills and problem solving is so important that if this is not there, everything else will come to a standstill because this is the seat of independence. If a child does not know how to do these, independence cannot happen. And for this to happen, a parent has to go through a radical mindset shift. Complete mind shift. Literally, so that you have to completely brainwash yourself out of this thought that autism is a disability. Because if you continue to operate from that thought, the parent instinct in you will want to protect your child all the time. So if you can leave their hand on the road, you will not. Yeah, because that requires risking. Because you are thinking, oh my God, what if he will suddenly run away and come in front of the vehicle? What will I do then? So you will not leave the hand. And chances are that if you are around, if you are properly dressed, you are not wearing heels, you are wearing sports shoes, you are ready, and you can run, no vehicle will run your kid down so quickly. It doesn't work that way. Yeah. And if it does, you don't go to a busy road, you start with the park road where children are cycling. So that even if your kid bumps into another child, the child doesn't get hurt, at the most falls down or gets a bruise, at the most. So this is calculated risk taking. So you are going to have to train your child from the very beginning. For that, you have to literally brainwash yourself every single day. Focus on what the child can achieve. Look at success stories, small, howsoever. Celebrate them. Stay in a positive mindset. Very important. If you're celebrating small successes, if you're not operating out of a sense of entitlement that this should have happened to me and why God was unkind and blah, 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 then you are on a track where you can really help your child, because for everything you will make the child's life slightly miserable. When I say this, I say it in a positive way. That don't jump to help the child. Don't hold their hand in the lift. Don't go and press the button in the lift. Please stop doing all of that. Tell them how they can handle the things. So teach them life skills and adequately cover the risk. Now, if you want to teach them usage of lift, first of all, stop freaking out. What if someday my child is in the lift and the lift closes? That is a reality that has happened to practically every human being who has ever used the lift. We do get stuck, and you also know that it is safe. That in less than a minute, the lift can be opened. So you will have to prepare yourself mentally and say, it is okay if he gets stuck or she gets stuck. They will still come out. There are ways. So first of all, train your brain, and then get the child to learn how to do it. So you could start with one small floor. So ground floor to first floor, so that you can run up wear sports shoes, run up to the first floor. The minute the lift opens on the first floor, the child sees you. This way, the child will lose fear of using the lift. Similarly, so for all other skills. First, you teach life skills, and after that, you teach problem solving. Say, for example, if the child has lost a notebook, please don't go searching for the child's notebook. Sit with the kid. Say, did you see under the bed? Check. So, with every statement you are making, you are ensuring that the child is using their problem solving skills. I can't help but share one incident here. My Jay was all of 15 years of age and we lost our house keys. And it was on the first floor. So it wasn't a very difficult thing because the outside balcony, all I had to do was actually, we didn't lose it accidentally. It was still inside the house and we slammed the door closed. All three of us, me, my elder one, my younger one, all three of us, we were locked outside and now it was a problem. So I went to the office and I picked up a ladder. But little did I know, by the time I came back, because it was just the first floor, and from the garden we could put the ladder and go inside the house, I called one worker there and said, just hold the ladder so I can jump into the balcony and from there get into my house and open the door. While I was thinking, I am seeing my son pushing Verma uncle and bringing him. And Verma uncle telling me, Rajni, he is just not listening to me. I am sorry, he wasn't 15, he was 13 at that time. And he said he is not listening to me. I have told him keys are unique. But he says, please try your house key. My door is closed. So he was using his problem solving skills and he ran up to the second floor where Verma uncle lived, an elderly gentleman. He knocked their door. When Verma uncle came, Verma uncle was, I call him uncle because he was the age of my father also. And he kind of grabbed him and said that take your keys and open my door and try. That maybe because all houses look same, then this door will open. That was my son using his problem solving abilities, which wasn't appropriate, but then it taught him one more thing. Every key is unique. And then I told him this will not work. So what we did, we went, we got the ladder, and then when I saw this, I made him climb up the ladder. I did not go. And he jumped into the balcony, he opened the door, the slider, went inside, and there the door was opened. So, such kind of small, simple things in life you will have to continue to do. The baseline being anything that any kid can do, my autistic child can also do. And when you operate like this and give them opportunities, your child with autism pretty much will learn problem solving skills. First, the simpler ones, and as they grow up, the mega ones. For example, like my son now, who's a working professional, finally, after 1 year of hard effort, has learned how to survive in the salary that he gets. Now he doesn't have to ask money from his mother. And that's a big problem solving skill. So he thinks if I can do a cab and the weather is really good, let me do a bike, it will be cheaper. So I will save this much money and I will be able to handle. First of all, learn to dream. Get rid of the high functioning, low functioning nonsense. Learn to dream 5 years, 10 years from now. Believe in your child's potential. Learn strategies, and you will see your kid will fly because autism is workable. I hope you liked this video. If you did, like, subscribe, share, press the notification button. You don't miss anything from us. Join us for the live 7 to 7:30 p.m. every Tuesday. Instagram, YouTube Hindi, and 7 to 9:30 p.m. Autism Masterclass, Thursdays or Fridays. Link of all of these, including our books, our study materials, all of everything, our app, everything is given in the description box below. Stay connected, learn, because an empowered parent is all that a kid with autism needs to be successful. I shall see you another time with another video. Bye-bye.